Good, finally, Friday morning, 4 minutes past the hour of 10 o'clock. We're at 46 degrees right now at the...
Much too cold, if you ask me.
Oh, we have grumpy people in the studio. It's time for your hometown movie, guys. Tina, Craig, and Andy with us. How are y'all doing this morning?
I'm from Hawaii, it's too cold.
It's... Yeah, a couple of one-liners came to mind, and I'm just going to go right past those. Andy,
I'm from Alaska, I don't give a hoot.
That's right.
You're here because it's supposed to be not as cold. It's cold.
And Craig, anything from the peanut gallery? Or?
I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
He doesn't even have a coat
Payson,
this
I don't know.
morning.
Yeah,
You know, he doesn't even have a
I'm from
coat.
Payson, I'm
That's
known.
what I expect.
That's right. That's all good. Well, I tell you what, always good to have the hometown movie guys. Now, not only for the next 30 minutes where you have a chance to hear about everything that's going on at the Sawmill Theaters, we're going to talk about Christmas movies, and we'd like to get some input from you on that, but also your place to provide that input and to actually watch the beautiful faces of your hometown movie guys is you can check it out right now live on Facebook Live, and we'll be on there for a full hour. So it's kind of a bonus sort of thing. And we're going to be talking about your favorite Christmas movies. So if you have a favorite Christmas movie, check us out on Facebook Live and comment on our live feed this morning and let us know what your favorite Christmas movie is. And before we get to any of that stuff, Craig, now, you know, we're in the middle of the holidays. That's always a pretty good time for you all. Sometimes, you know, normal years, which has nothing to do with the year 2020. You know, we have some pretty big blockbusters that come out during the holidays. What about this year?
Well, we're still holding for Wonder Woman.
Ah.
Yeah, that's been the big
Well, if you're
one.
going to hold something, Wonder Woman,
Wonder
you know,
Woman,
sounds good.
yeah. There we go.
Oh, baby.
You know, that's been the big one, and you know, the news that came out this week is, you know, Warner Brothers. It's a Warner Brothers film, and they're HBO then also.
Oh, wow.
So they're going to, they are going to give us a movie. We get Wonder Woman on Christmas Day,
Oh, wow.
but they're also going to stream it on HBO Max on the same day. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to build up their streaming service, which is what everyone's trying to do now, you know, with everything this way. So
The fact that they're giving you Wonder Woman for Christmas is kind of nice. So I mean, it's got
well,
a nice ring
you
to
know,
it anyway.
that's the thing. You know, we can't. You know, in a normal year, we would fight the, you know, theaters in general would fight this type of thing. But
Right.
in these troubled times, we got to take what we can get. So
Now, you were mentioning just before going on the air today that actually you've had some pretty good numbers coming in as far as people
Thanksgiving
getting
was
back to the
good.
theater and everything.
the situation we're in, you know, a big part of the trouble is there just aren't the big movies coming out.
Wow.
You know, the studios have been pulling stuff because of the COVID, and you know, so many theaters are locked down right now, and so you know, they need the big numbers. So over Thanksgiving, we were lucky. We got Croods,
Right.
the new Croods film, New Age, and that did really good for us. And yeah, that's just kind of it. It's just you know, product. You know, it's been a big part of the problem here, and you know, so Christmas does look good. We got News of the World locked in yesterday.
Oh, wow.
That's the Tom Hanks Western.
Right.
That looks pretty good.
And Tom Hanks in a Western. I mean, that in and of itself is kind of a...
Why not? He does everything.
Yeah,
Well, I tell you, I think
He does everything.
the guy could act his way through the dictionary.
Right.
But wow, that's and that actually promises to be, you know, something that may get some Academy Award attention.
Well, it's Tom Hanks. You know,
Yeah.
usually.
I
Well, especially this
mean,
year.
the guy can talk to a volleyball for you know, a couple hours and entertain us. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
did it well. Yeah.
You know, what I think is very odd is he only has 2 Oscars.
Yeah.
He
Did he do those
should-
back to back though?
He should
Was
have.
that,
He should have like 9.
Did he do those back to back years?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so side note, just while we're on the topic, favorite Tom Hanks movie? What was the one where they were in the military going in to rescue this?
Private Ryan.
Private Ryan.
That was a pretty hefty
I
movie.
was also thinking The Green Mile.
Ooh, The Green Mile
You know
was really
what?
good.
That is such an
Like
amazing
hooch. Jeez,
You like
you guys are so
hooch?
serious.
I was gonna go bachelor party.
Oh my God. Oh my
there's-
God. Oh my
I'm sitting here just trying to restrain myself. I had
I'll
a
say,
couple of
my
good hooch
Oh
one-liners
my
there too,
dog.
and I let
Oh
it
my
go.
dog.
Oh my dog.
Right.
Everything's so backwards. So I don't know. You know, when it comes to Tom, boy, he's played. What he had Apollo 13.
Oh, yeah.
That was he pulled that one off well.
Forrest Gump.
Ah,
Oh.
And I don't really think life's like a box of chocolates, but I sure like that movie.
That was one of the Academy Awards. It was,
And
Yeah.
Philadelphia Story, I think.
Yeah,
or
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, I guess.
Philadelphia.
Was there Apollo
Yes.
13?
Well,
Oh, I think it was Philadelphia.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm drawing a complete blank on Philadelphia. I don't think I've seen that one.
Music by Mark Knopfler of
Oh,
Dire Straits.
wow.
Yeah,
Very interesting.
I love Dire Straits.
I love Dire Straits.
I love your hat.
Thank you.
Those are you
I
following.
thought you'd never notice.
Those of you following along with us on Facebook, you ain't never seen. I mean, the Cat in the Hat doesn't have anything on this one. This is pretty good
I
stuff.
have the dog. I'm a dog
Right.
person, so I have the doggy shirt. And Chris very kindly gave me the matching hat.
I think it looks
It
good.
does.
And Andy's got a red stocking cap on, keeping everything warm up there.
I'm cold.
And Craig's wearing a skin tight hat today. This is a lot funnier if you're watching on Facebook.
Oh.
So, all right, let's get back to the movies. Now,
Let's get back to Gal Gadot.
there's a nice thought. This won't take long, did it? As far as what's playing at the Sawmill Theaters, if people want to go out tonight for a Friday night, have a little date night. Now, you are practicing some good, safe social distancing routines there in the theater and everything.
So
So,
limited seating, every other row blocked off.
right. So people can feel safe, but get out to the theater and enjoy some good
Sure.
hot popcorn, soft drink, and a great movie. What else playing tonight?
Well, we got the new one starting up today, Half Brothers.
Half Brothers.
Looks pretty good. It's a
It's a comedy.
It's about a couple of brothers. Yeah.
That would be good.
Yeah, it's a comedy. It's a
Who's
it's
in
a
it,
comedy.
Craig? Who's in it?
You know what? I'm not sure what their names are.
What?
Basically, they're two half brothers. They don't know they were brothers, and then
Then they find out that they're
Brothers and different mothers.
and
Same daddy, though.
hilarious hijinks ensue.
I like it. Well, and with everything that's going on right now, to me, I mean, give me a good comedy. Give me a good couple of belly laughs, and I can just kind of forget about all the other nonsense.
Oh,
we-
God,
oh, we
I
need
have
it
one
now.
for you
We need
on
it now.
Netflix. It's called The IT Crowd.
The IT crowd.
Oh my gosh! If you love Monty Python, you will love
Oh.
this. It is.
And now for
abs-
something completely different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Really?
It's so good.
The IT crowd.
Yes, it's about IT people in the basement of a corporation, but it's British and it is hysterical.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out.
You
I
got
love a good
it.
belly laugh.
Yeah.
So we have one comedy playing tonight.
Well, Croods is a comedy.
Oh, that's right. That's an
Yeah,
animated
actually,
deal.
we get War with Grandpa is still there.
Who's in the?
Well, that's with what's his face?
Robert De Niro.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Robert De Niro. That's a PG kind of a family comedy.
Nice to see him take a break from political stance.
And very freaky. Vince Vaughn. Now that's rated R.
Right.
But that's a horror comedy.
I love Vince Vaughn. He is
Awesome.
just fabulous.
And how many horror comedies can you think of?
Well, there was
There's a few, yeah.
Happy Death Day.
Yeah, let's get into
And
zombie movies.
Zombieland.
Yeah,
Zombieland.
Zombieland, yes, yes.
So quite a few there. Then we have Let Him Go, which that is not a comedy.
Okay. And what?
No,
That's
not
Kevin
a
Costner.
comedy.
That's Kevin Costner and Diane Lane. That's
Yeah,
Right.
that was a little more serious, but
yeah.
But something for everybody. You got stuff for
yeah,
kids.
good mix.
Stuff
Yeah, no, it's a good mix.
nice date night movies. Nice, just get out of the house yourself and get away and watch a flick. I
We
like
got,
it.
we got Croods in 2D and 3D.
Oh wow.
I saw it in 3D.
Ooh.
Is that right?
Yep.
All right.
I'm amazed at where technology has gone, and I've done the 3D movie thing many times over the years, but I think when Avatar came out, I was suddenly, wow, they've got this stuff figured out a lot better now.
You know, a lot of times too, I think the animated 3D is a little more effective. You know,
You get a little more depth.
Yeah,
though,
exactly. They can do that a little bit better, and so yeah, this one looks really good, and everyone likes Croods.
Very cool. All right, and now any other big movies coming in over the holidays?
You know, what? I'm waiting on a reply right now, possibly for next Friday. The Midnight Sky.
Ooh. Tell us about this.
It's George Clooney.
And
George Clooney.
Yeah,
Ooh,
George
George
Clooney
Clooney.
directing and starring in it.
he directed
Wow.
it?
Kind of a sci-fi thing, where there's some kind of a catastrophe has hit the Earth, and there's a
Oops.
spaceship coming back that was out exploring the moons of Saturn, I think, but they're coming back, and he's trying to stop them from coming back because of the Earth is toxic or something.
Wow.
Well, gee, welcome to reality.
Yeah, really.
He called it a mix between Gravity and The Revenant,
Oh, wow.
which is kind of
Yeah, the
a
rest.
strange mix, but
Revenant.
yeah, a lot of space stuff and explosions and everything. So yeah, sci-fi thriller.
I don't know of too many movies that Clooney has been in that I didn't like. I mean, and he's another one of these
Oh, there
actors
was
that's
one
played a
called The
part.
American. What a dud.
Oh, really?
Oh, you saw that, right?
No.
Oh my gosh.
What
It was
I mean,
so
he's,
bad.
he's played a number of different types of characters, though,
I mean, he's very talented.
I'm trying to. The title of the movie escapes me, but the bunch of hillbilly guys and they.
Oh,
Brother,
brother,
Where Art
where
Thou?
art thou?
And-
Coen Brothers.
And that
Yeah.
was a side of him that I wasn't expecting, but I thought he
Yeah,
played
but
that
he
goofy
played in
part.
the Coen Brothers.
Yeah, Burn After Reading.
The one that
Burn
was.
After Reading.
Oh,
Yes,
boy, that
Burn
was
After
funny.
Reading, and the other one with Catherine Zeta-Jones, Irreconcilable Differences.
Oh, right.
Very,
That-
very funny.
Oh,
It
I
was
didn't think
great.
that was funny. I thought that was horrifying.
I loved it. I thought it was hysterical.
This is that male versus female thing going on there.
And we're hoping to get that one. I'm
Right.
actually
That would be good.
been checking my email here this morning to see if we
Yeah.
get approval on
Well,
that.
it sounds like things are finally getting a little closer to whatever normal is,
We're creeping there. It's
Yeah.
just the icky stuff's still out there, so we're not sure what's going to happen there.
right? Yeah, we got to keep an eye on it. But one thing, you can always find out what's playing at the Sawmill Theaters and when it's playing by just going online to sawmilltheaters.com and check it out. But we hope you get out there. Again, support I think that one of the other great reasons to get out and support the Sawmill Theaters, all the different causes that you all have supported every year over the years. I mean, you've been out there helping raise money for a lot of different things and been a real cornerstone in the
Blood
community.
drives.
Yeah, blood
Right.
drives.
And the
Yeah.
faith-based movies, when is the next faith-based movie?
The 21st.
Yes.
And what do you have?
It is.
Quiz time.
Wait, is it Overcomer? I believe,
Oh,
I think.
Possibly.
Okay.
Overcomer is coming up. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if that's the 21st,
It
but
might be,
that is on the list.
And
yeah,
who's in that?
I don't know.
The Overcomer.
Oh, well, that explains the
One
title.
who overcomes.
There you go. And just so many different directions we could go.
This is why you have us in,
Yeah,
so we can
yeah.
make these, sort
Giving
of
you all these details.
pronouncements.
This-
Yeah.
This is why it's really dangerous to be on
It's
Facebook.
called a tautology.
Ah, there.
Isn't that another one from Pure Flix?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I believe so.
Yeah.
Well, they do. I think they're doing most of those now. Pureflix
Yeah.
picks those up for distribution.
Now, the Republican club up here in Rim Country has been funding a number of different movies there. Is that going to continue, or?
Not, if not this year.
Okay, well, we don't have much year left, so.
Right, yeah. We'll see what happens. Actually, we were quite pleased with our experience.
Yeah, and you brought in some really big name movies that seem to get a lot of attention.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
the
great.
last one we did was on Veterans Day. We did the 1977 version of Midway. And it was quite
Sure, that was
quite
good.
well attended, and just a tremendous movie too. It was really, really well done. And a wonderful cast too. It was one of those things like, if you remember The Longest Day, they had
Oh, yeah.
every prominent Hollywood star of that era was in that, and Midway was pretty much the same thing. And Robert Mitchum was in it, for instance. And, it's just a little, just a little role, just a teeny role, and there are a whole bunch of other very prominent actors in Midway as well. So it was well done, and so we had a good experience with those. And thank you, Craig, for letting us do that.
Well, very cool.
No problem. Yeah, it's another one too. We're talking about charity events or anything right now. Everything is tough right now.
Yeah,
That's
and it's really tough on a lot of the nonprofits out there that,
sure,
they
exactly.
depend on that too.
Trying to get stuff going and putting things together is just difficult right now.
Right.
But
Well, I keep up the good work, and here's hoping that we can get past all this COVID nonsense here sometime soon and get back closer to whatever normal is.
But speaking of Gal Gadot,
Yeah, and we will.
and we're back.
she, we appreciate her for her continuing role as Wonder Woman.
That's one of the reasons, yeah.
But she's a former Miss Israel.
Yes,
Yeah, she's just a gorgeous gal, and she's big too.
yeah,
And she's like, I don't know, 5'9",
She's,
5'10",
well,
something like that.
Israeli army
Yeah.
also.
yeah.
Wow,
And she has a great screen presence.
Mhm.
that's a good way to put it.
It's well, I mean, it's hard to pull off the idea of being a superhero, and it takes a certain personality.
Especially a really good-looking superhero.
Oh, she's super.
Yeah, she is, and
Yeah.
she comes from she's Israeli. She comes from a town not too far from Tel Aviv, and and they retasked their town square. It's now Donald Trump Town Square
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
in her little town,
Yeah.
where she was born.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
By the way, Gina is watching us on
Hi, Gina.
Facebook Live. She says, hello. Hey, Gina.
hello.
Thanks for joining us. Well, one of the things that we want to find out this morning, Craig had mentioned when we were trying to figure out, hey, what are we going to talk about today? Said, hey, how about Christmas movies? Or one of you said that.
I think you said that.
Did I say it? I thought it was a really wise statement.
But I think we echoed it.
There you go. But
Yes.
when you think of Christmas movies, I mean, there's been a bunch of them over the years that. So at the top of your list, Andy, as far as specifically Christmas movies.
One I actually saw within the last 30 days or so was Santa Claus versus the Martians. And,
Why does this not surprise me? Were there any zombies in it? Sadly, no.
No, but it's Pia Zadora was 14 when she made this. An interesting movie. It's kind of dated now. Like I said, I saw it just recently.
Zadora is dated.
Hey, by the way, on a side note, June is also tuning in on Facebook Live, and she says, "Love the tree hat."
Oh, thank you, June. It was a gift from Chris.
It is pretty spectacular, I have to say.
I think so. I can't
He's
see
been trying
it.
to find something to wear.
I know.
Turn around.
trying to pump.
Turn around.
What?
All right.
I caught a glimpse of myself and I freaked out.
So, and especially if you're following along on Facebook Live, let us know your favorite Christmas movie
Or Christmas hat.
or Christmas hat,
Yeah, right.
and or if you know of any good Christmas zombie movies for Craig, or for Andy, excuse me. For Craig, we'll come up with something else. All right, so
I like
Tina,
zombie movies.
yeah, how about
Well, esoterically,
esoterically? Okay.
yes. I am very fond of a movie called Joya Noel, which is a 2005 movie about a real incident that took place in World War I on Christmas Eve, in which the combatants on both sides just had a one-night armistice.
Yes, that
It's
was actually a
just-
famous story.
it makes me cry. It's a beautiful, beautiful movie. And then another one that makes me cry is White Christmas.
Oh, there
And
you
then,
go.
of course, It's a Wonderful Life. But Joya Noel needs to get more attention because it's a super, super sweet and reassuring and inspiring movie.
Wow, very interesting.
Yeah.
And Craig, any favorite
Just
Christmas?
one I have not seen yet, but this just came out in November, and I'm still trying to figure out where I can watch this thing. But Fat Man, it's Mel Gibson.
Oh,
Fat
yes.
Man.
Mel Gibson as
Oh, that's different.
Mel Gibson as a aging disgruntled Santa Claus,
Yes.
and he gives his kid a lump of coal. This little rich kid, so the rich kid hires a assassin to go kill Santa Claus, and it's a rated R Christmas movie.
Sounds uplifting.
The trailer looks hilarious.
This is so Craig.
It's just
Right?
well, it's a little. He says, Mel Gibson kind of can, play, especially as he's getting older, he can really pull that kind of.
Curmudgeon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the one line he's like, "I'll come for you when you're sleeping."
Oh, I gotta see this. I love Mel Gibson. Anything he does.
But for what I've seen, National Lampoon Christmas Vacation. It's got to be
There you
the
go.
top of the
Yeah,
list.
there you go.
Chevy Chase, that was.
Yeah.
Well, another one that I'm thinking
Classic.
that, you know, it gets played every year, and I mean, and it's, the story is around Christmas and all of that, but It's a Wonderful Life, and
Oh,
man, that goes back to,
there you are. Jimmy
40s,
Stewart,
50s?
Donna Reed.
yeah,
Oh, my word,
that
yeah.
goes back. But I mean,
Love it.
I still, when I see it come on TV, it's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I'll watch that for a
Oh,
bit.
yeah, yeah. It's beautiful.
I don't know, I'm trying to think
Well,
of,
and then, of course, A Christmas Story.
okay,
Don't,
there you go.
don't shoot your eye out.
And Home Alone.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And now I saw a thing on Facebook, see, you know it's gotta be true, because it was on Facebook.
Especially my page.
Yeah, right.
The one where I get banned all the time.
Yeah, that's right. Well, the government has something to do with her Facebook page all the time. But there was a study done. I don't know. It was like the Science Guys or something like that that are on, I don't know what, History Channel or whatever. But they had reenacted a number of the scenes, like from Home Alone, like when he's got cans of paint hanging from a rope, and he lets go of it from up on top of the stairs, and it goes down and hits this guy in the head. If that had actually happened, they used dummies, and it would have been the last thing that the guy ever saw.
Problem solved.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, there was a number of you know, as is often the case in some of these movies, a number of the stunts that actually, if they were to happen in real life, would have been a little messy.
But this is the crossover between real life and cartoons. Because, you know, you look at cartoons, I mean, the Roadrunner, right?
Sure.
Gets flattened all the time. And Ben and Jerry in the good old days when they used to beat the crap out of each other. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, yes.
Do you know who that is?
Kind of, yeah.
Ren and
You're from Phoenix, you should know.
Ren? Hey, I personally knew Wallace and Ladmo. Does
Well,
that count?
no, that's who I was thinking
That was
of.
like a
Yeah, yeah.
90s cartoon.
Yeah, I know.
Well, if you remember the line that Alicia Silverstone delivered in Clueless, Ren and Stimpy, they're so existential.
It's getting deep now.
And then she looked startled and kind of apprehensive and said, "Did I use that right?" she's trying
That
to,
was a great line.
yeah, she's trying to impress a guy that's a couple of years older and more
Right.
sophisticated.
Right.
So, you know, another movie that I'm constantly told is a Christmas
I
movie,
know what you're gonna say.
and it's Die Hard.
Yes, it is.
It's all around the Christmas holiday, but it has little to do with Christmas.
You say that every year.
You say
I
that
do.
every year.
And it's still true.
And every year we remind you that it is a Christmas movie and a lot of people's favorite Christmas movie.
That's
If you're
true. It
looking
is a
at
lot of
the, you know,
people's
the
favorite.
list,
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. And was it
There's a lot of crazy people.
Alan Rickman is in
Yep.
that? I mean, he sadly passed away, but man,
What part did he play?
he was
He's the bad guy.
oh, the
Oh.
bad guy.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that was in the first one in Die Hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He was awesome.
You know,
I disagree with the Christmas movie thing. It's not a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie.
I mean, Lethal Weapon, one of those Lethal Weapons was
Well,
during,
that's true,
it's
that's
during
true.
Christmas.
The
It's
first
not
one,
a
right.
Christmas movie.
And the
Well,
only good scene out of that movie is about the Christmas, in the Christmas tree,
Yeah,
where
just
Mel
be-
Gibson
but-
goes bazonkazoid.
Yeah, but just because there's a Christmas tree set up in the living room doesn't mean it's a Christmas movie.
Hang on.
Well, okay.
hang on a second. I'm looking up Bazonkazoid. Hey, Ken and Lorraine are also following along, and they say best Christmas movie ever, Bad Santa.
Oh, okay,
that is good.
okay.
And also Tina, it's not this Tina, but believe it or not, there's more than one Tina.
No.
Tina says, "Merry Christmas, hometown movie guys. I have magazines to drop off to you this morning."
Oh,
Yep,
Tina.
we got 'em, Tina, thanks.
Yes, we
Yeah.
love it, love it,
Well, I
love
tell you
it.
what, Tina, if you haven't had a chance to pick up one of these magazines,
Oh,
do we have one in
so
here with us?
awesome. Yeah, hold
If you
it
haven't had a
up.
chance to pick up one of these,
Hold it up to the camera.
Yay.
Grim Country Living.
Yay.
They did a special feature on your hometown movie guys, and they did just an outstanding job. The
I think so
photography,
too, yep.
the photography was really
Excellent.
well
As
done.
Andy Warhol said, we have our 15 minutes of fame.
There you
Give
go.
it back.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was never seen again.
Give it back.
Anyway,
But thank you, Tina.
yeah.
It was great.
and thank you, Ken and Lorraine, for following along with us on Facebook Live.
Yay.
We've got to get our folks on radio here back to more of their favorite music, but we're going to stick with you on Facebook Live, so hang with us for a second. And thanks once again to our hometown movie guys for being with us. We're going to get you back to, on KRIM here, more of your favorite music from The Who, David Gray, Mike and the Mechanics, and a whole bunch more. But first, a quick look at
Mike and the
Rickman.
Mechanics are on again?
Can they ever be on enough?
Man, there's all kinds of stuff needs fixing. It's the mechanics.
All right,
All right.
we're clear of the radio, and now we can just
Oh, boy.
relax and
Oh.
let our hair down.
Let's go back to
Really?
bad.
Can we say the
bad-
seven words on radio that nobody can say? Yeah.
This is coming from the woman who's getting kicked off Facebook routinely. Yeah, what were you saying?
I'd say Bad Santa.
Bad
Oh,
Santa.
Geez, Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh.
Now talk about someone that can
Yeah.
play a disheveled
Oh, good.
Santa.
Yeah.
Bad Santa.
That's a great
we can
movie.
barely even talk about that on the radio. I would say,
I think we've already said all of the words in the movie that you
he
can
was,
say on the
he
radio.
was a bad Santa.
Yeah, that's right. The End. Film of 11.
That's a great movie. That's a great
I
movie.
don't know. You know, when it comes to the holidays, what about let's take a little bit of a sidestep from this. As a kid, what was there a particular movie that or even just what Charlie Brown's Christmas or one of those shows that you had to watch every year?
Yeah, Charlie Brown's Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still have not forgiven Lucy.
It's a
No,
wonderful
that's so
life.
mean.
Yeah.
No.
It's a wonderful life because I lived overseas and I'm a throwback. So every Christmas we watched that, and we watched it, shown, we had no TV. It was on, I think, 16 millimeter, shown at,
Right.
the American Club in Singapore.
Right.
That's where we were. And I mean, I love that movie. And we need to take a look at how inspiring that is and return to those kinds of of honor and emotions, and it's just really an important movie.
There is a great message or great moral to that story that that is one of the things that seems to be lacking a bit these days. As far as it seems like don't get me wrong, I like a good action flick and stuff like that, but I don't know, it'd be nice to see a few more movies that have a good moral to the story. And
Bad Santa. Yeah.
Bad Santa, there you go. Moral of the story, don't be bad Santa. Yeah. Okay, so if you're gonna pick a movie that and I'm anxious to find out which zombie movie it'll be, but if you're gonna pick a movie that really had a great moral to the story, what would it be?
Greatest story ever told.
Ooh, all right.
Well played.
Yeah.
Well played. Greatest
Yeah.
story ever told. Well
Yeah.
played. How about you, Tina? And you can't copy him.
The moral? Oh, Ben-Hur.
Ben-Hur.
I mean, if you think about the whole, what happens to him and what his inspiration is, his moment of truth. I love that movie.
Yeah. And Craig? Bad Santa. I didn't say immoral. I said moral.
Yeah.
I don't know. There seems to be it seems like we've gotten away from a lot of those kinds of stories. Although, I go back to, I always bring up Avatar, and we've talked about it before. How there were so many people that were complaining that they were depressed after the movie ended because they wanted to stay there in whatever planet that was. And I found that to be interesting, but it was such a step away from reality that people kind of like being there more than being here, I guess. I don't know. But as far as, I don't know if there was necessarily a moral to the story. And it goes back to what we were talking about last week with the very first Star Wars, too. When that movie was over, it was good prevailed over evil, and there hasn't been I've enjoyed all of the Star Wars movies. I look forward to the next one coming out and all of that, but there hasn't been one that really had that warm, fuzzy, feel-good conclusion to it like the very first one.
Right. Nothing really standing out to me.
Yeah.
He's not moral.
I go to, kind of strangely enough, South Park.
Yeah, strange.
Hey,
Yeah,
you know
I'm
what?
with you.
Seriously, I can dig it.
No,
I can
well, I mean, South Parks
seriously see
are
it.
these
Yeah.
stupid shows, you
Yeah.
know, and they're silly, but they almost always end with this pretty profound
Yeah.
moral type of message at the very end of it, you know, that kind of comes through. So,
He's right.
You know, on another Christmas note, going back to that idea of those TV shows
He's trying to
that,
get away from
that we watched way back when as kids, and the one animated one that you know, would come on every year, and you know, even as my kids came along and then the grandkids came along, I still find myself watching that, was the Grinch that, you know, stole Christmas. But taking that a step further, I don't think anybody in the world could have actually played that part as well as when they remade it with what's his face,
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, yeah.
Right.
What's his face?
Yeah.
But I mean, just to think, okay, now I've got to play this part,
Right.
and I've got to wear this costume and this extra 10-gallon jug under my shirt. Yeah, he just made that really, you know,
Yeah.
somewhat believable.
Yeah.
Not completely, but
Yeah.
maybe if you drink enough. But yeah. But at any rate, there are some characters like that I don't know who else. I mean, who else would you put in that spot other than Jim Carrey? They could pull that off like he did.
Yeah.
My answer is nobody.
Nobody. Yeah. That's a good Christmas movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And there's another kind of Christmas, or as Craig says, a movie that happened at Christmas time that I don't think people pay enough attention to and don't revere properly. Trancers. Really, it's kind of a sci-fi movie that outer space people come and zap people and stuff. And it's fun. But the reason it's an important movie is it was a very early film performed by the actress not Helen Hunt. Yeah, Helen Hunt.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Helen Hunt as a teenager. She plays an elf, one of Santa's helpers at a department store. And she wears a little elf costume, and she is just adorable. And she's in this. Yeah, actually, they made like 4 of these
Really?
Trancers movies. Yeah.
Well,
we're going to talk about Elf too.
And I was just going to say,
yeah.
speaking of Elf,
Yeah.
And she's much cuter than Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell as an elf. Will Ferrell. Okay, I'm going to have to come clean on this, but I have never found Will Ferrell, even on Saturday Night Live, really entertaining much. I'm
with you.
I get his brand of humor and the characters that he plays and stuff, but it just, I don't know, it just seems a little too dumb. I guess, for lack of perhaps a more witty terminology.
Adam Sandler. I think a lot of people feel the same way there. That you know, you either like Adam Sandler or you don't.
Right.
And Will Ferrell.
I think that's
both
a
from
good
Saturday Night Live.
That's a good analogy, yeah, because it's that I don't know, same kind of uncomfortable, unhinged, dense humor. I don't know even what you would classify that as, but
Well, it's kind of that you know, Jim Carrey does that too. Kind of that silly.
Manic.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we talked about this before. Even going back to like Jerry Lewis. You know, there's.
hey, lady.
Yeah, you might find him annoying.
Yeah.
You know, some people really enjoy it, some people don't. And,
Has Jim Carrey ever acted a dramatic role?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Not successfully, unfortunately.
playing or train spotting? Jim Carrey?
Train spotting.
Train spotting, yeah, was that Jim Carrey?
No.
You sure?
Yeah. But the train spotting is about drug addicts in Scotland.
Yeah.
No, Jim Carrey's not in that. But the guy that you're thinking of is the same guy that did the Full Monty.
Oh, yes, that guy. Whatever his name is.
Chris is watching and he says Christmas Vacation and Elf.
Oh, Elf, yeah, yeah, right.
Gina says Christmas Twister, a movie that is one of the best I've seen. Christmas Twister.
I have to
Anybody?
check it out. Christmas Twister.
Santa Claus.
Oh, yeah,
C-O-A-W-S.
Yeah.
The Santa Claus, yeah,
Right.
yeah, they made a couple of those,
Really?
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's more of a horror flick sort of
No,
thing?
no, it's a comedy.
Oh.
The clause as in a clause in a contract.
Oh, that kind of claws. I thought you were talking about like finger
Claus.
claws.
Oh, no, Claus. There's
Is
a
it?
Claus, yeah, Claus.
Really?
Krampus.
Oh,
Krampus,
no, that was not good.
Yeah, that's the German anti-Santa Claus.
Yeah. Just scary little, no, that's not the Christmas thing. You have some horrible monster come in and scare the little kids. No, that's awful.
Maybe they deserved it.
Wait a minute, this is the zombie expert of the universe.
Oh,
here
zombies
saying-
aren't scary.
saying- oh. Lord of mercy.
Zombies are fun.
Zombies are fun.
Except in Haiti.
Yeah, except, well, yeah, no, there are exceptions, yeah.
No.
I was thinking Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Oh, yeah.
That's
yeah.
Jim
Oh, weren't we
Carrey.
all?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's Jim
yeah.
Carrey.
What are we
Yeah.
talking about?
Eternal
And the
Sunshine.
fact that
Jim
you all
Carrey.
know this is
Yeah.
No, Jim
right.
Carrey movies.
It was.
Yeah, or back to Jim Carrey movies.
Yeah.
Eternal.
Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's a
Yeah.
very esoteric, existential?
There, oh,
These are really
Existential
big
movie.
words that mean
Yeah.
boring and lame.
did I use that right?
Yeah, is it right? As if,
Wow, I've never
but-
heard of that movie.
yeah.
Oh, you know, I
You
don't
shouldn't
know,
look so
I don't know
shocked.
why I'm so stunned, I honestly.
And I don't know. I just. I mean, I usually a lot of these movies I've at least heard of,
Yeah.
but I don't think I've ever even heard of that one.
Uh,
How many years ago was this? With Jim Carrey, can't be
Yeah,
too old.
20 probably.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
2004.
2004.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
So-
16.
16, yeah.
He did, that, his famous non-comedic movie was the Cable Guy.
Yeah, Cable Guy.
And,
yeah.
boy, that was not well received.
No.
People wanted to go to the movies and see Jim Carrey
It
do,
was kind of a comedy.
want to see Jim Carrey do funny stuff, and it was not funny.
It was not funny.
But another one that he did that was absolutely wonderful, and I'm not a Jim Carrey fan, really, but he did one called 50 First Dates that I think is just spectacular, wonderful.
50 First Dates.
Yeah.
Phew, that
And
sounds scary.
apparently and there's an actual syndrome that,
Right.
what's her name had in the movie.
Yeah, oh, Drew Barrymore, was
Drew
it?
Barrymore, yeah. And 50 First Dates, this lady, Drew Barrymore, has something wrong in her brain, and she wakes up every morning and doesn't know anything. She doesn't know who she is, where she is, nothing. And Jim Carrey falls in love with her, and because when she wakes up in the morning, she doesn't know who he is. Every day he records her.
Yeah.
Groundhog Day.
I was just
Groundhog
gonna say
Day.
Groundhog Day,
Bill
yeah.
Murray.
Yeah,
Bill Murray,
That's a
yeah.
good one.
By the way, Gina, who is saying Merry Christmas from Garvin's RV and Adventure Tours down in Rye. They're doing a great job down there, by the way. If you want to rent an RV or something like that, it's pretty cool what they've got available. They even deliver it to your campsite and you just show up and stay in it. I like that a lot. Anyway, Gina says, I watch The Wizard of Oz every year.
Oh.
And I don't know that there's any movie that I've seen as many times as The Wizard of
I
Oz. I
love
know
that.
the kids loved watching
Frozen.
it, the grandkids. Frozen, yeah, Frozen's another big one like that.
Right.
Now, you've probably seen Frozen more times than you've seen.
No, I think because again, my kids we had it on videotape back when the kids were young, and then with the grandkids and everything. Man, I've seen The Wizard. I can almost recite every line from that. Tina, who's another Tina,
Yay.
is saying we're not trying not to use anyone's last names just in case you want to stay incognito. Tina says, my favorite Christmas musical is the Scrooge version with Albert Finney.
Oh, good.
I forgot all about that.
Choice.
Says my favorite
Oh.
classic is It's a Wonderful Life, and my
Yes.
favorite fun movie to watch with the kids is Elf.
Yeah.
So that's a good mix there.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like the Bill Murray Scrooged. That was good.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, Bill Murray
Scrooge.
did do a good job.
Definitely.
Scrooged, yeah.
Definitely good.
The Bill Murray, he's another one of those actors that you know we could put along with Jim Carrey and whoever else we were just mentioning. As far as an actor that some people just can't handle the type of parts that he plays, and they all seem somewhat similar.
But he's in Zombieland, and
That's right.
and he gets killed.
You know what? I
Spoiler,
think
sorry, spoiler.
So you like that part, did you?
Well, no, but it was so funny that he plays himself.
yeah,
Oh,
And
really?
so, these people, oh my gosh, we're in Bill Murray's house, and and then they accidentally kill him.
Oops.
I think
Yeah.
I think everybody loves Bill Murray.
Really?
Is that a name of a movie?
Universally
Not
loved,
yet.
yeah, by the entire population.
I
Yeah,
tell
I
you,
think you're probably right.
he goes back to an era on Saturday Night Live when it was
Nothing
funny.
like an
The original
absolute
was-
here. Oh yeah, he was great on Saturday Night
Well,
Live.
Saturday Night Live was just,
It was good
it was
then.
funny back then. I mean,
Yeah,
it was good
yeah,
humor, and now
yeah.
it seems like everyone's trying to push
Yes.
an agenda or something, and I don't know.
It's,
Well, it's still,
stupid.
you look at Saturday Night Live, it's still produced most of our biggest comedians now.
Right.
I mean, that was
Right.
all
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy. We talked about Adam Sandler, whether you like him or
Yeah.
not, he's been terribly
Yeah.
successful.
Yeah.
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin was huge, yeah.
oh,
Gilda Radner.
Oh.
Mike,
love Gilda
Mike,
Radner.
Shrek, did all the Shreks and
Mike Myers,
Mike Myers,
Mike
yeah, Mike
Myers,
Myers, yeah.
yeah.
who did Studio 54, which was not a funny movie at all, and he was
No.
really good.
Yeah, he was good.
But yeah, the original cast, that was
Oh,
Bill
yeah.
Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase,
Yes.
John Belushi,
Right, Jane
Yeah.
Curtin.
Jane Curtin,
Yeah.
Gilda Radner, yeah. Those,
Jane.
Jane, you ignorant.
slut.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
I'm a woman, I can get away with it.
Hey guys, I'm sorry, I gotta run.
What?
Oh, I do,
see you,
okay.
man.
Oh, sure.
I do.
Just
I feel-
leave like
When
that.
he hears potty language, he has to go.
You've driven him away.
What? No, I that was, remember those? I mean,
Oh,
those
but it was funny, and
Bill Murray also did a serious role.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
That
Something about
Edge.
Japan. It was in Japan.
as Himalayas.
Oh, no.
Edge.
There was another one.
he
that
played a
did
serious role. I didn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, a deeply serious
deeply
role.
serious. And then he was also directed by Sofia Coppola in, I forget the one, but it was something to do with Japan.
Wow.
Yeah. Sofia Coppola is Francis Ford's daughter. And the big joke in my family is that in the third Godfather, she played the love interest of, I guess it was, I forget, but she was killed.
Michael. Yeah, she was
She
the
was-
one that was blown up.
She was shot. And a friend of mine said that the only good thing about her in the movie was that she had gorgeous hair. Her acting was really bad, but
But
Or
she-
did she play the girl in Sicily that Michael fell in love with?
no. That was in
Okay.
Godfather 2.
Okay,
I'm
sorry.
talking about 3.
here's, we were talking about Jim Carrey there for a little bit, and Gina chimed in and said, "I loved Jim Carrey in the movie Liar Liar."
That was a good one. I like that.
Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent.
And he was that was
He
one of the
was
Jim Carrey
really
movies
good.
that I appreciated.
Yeah.
And I vaguely remember that it was every time he lied something.
No, he something happened to him and he could not tell a lie.
He could not,
Ah.
right.
Boy, that'd be tough in this day and age.
Oh yeah, and
Don't
he's-
host a talk show if you have that infliction.
he is so animated that
Yeah.
that was really good. There's some stuff in there that we can't talk about, but oh yes we can because we're not on the air, right?
Oh, we're on Facebook.
Hey, let it roll.
Hey, really? Yeah.
There was some funny stuff in there.
Gina's got a couple others. Just Jim Carrey also in the movie Mask. And
Oh,
yes.
he was very
Yes.
good in that. That was
his breakout role.
and that was a hilarious movie.
Yeah, it was really
She also
good.
said also the movies that had, and I forgot all about these guys, but as a kid I watched, I think I watched all of them at least twice. She said also the movies that had Abbott and Costello, I wish they would bring those back.
Yes. They were
Abbott and
great.
Costello,
They
those were some-
great.
And which brings me to a point that we were just discussing at my home the other day, in that we still watch Andy Griffith. the Andy Grimm show.
Yeah.
And it's still entertaining.
It
and it's
is.
still, the funny things are funny, the moral points are made. I mean, it's, and that was from
The 50s.
late 50s, early 60s, and yet it still seems, you know, I don't know, it still makes sense to me anyway. Maybe my head's just stuck a few decades in the past, but I don't know. What other programming do we have coming out these days as far as television shows that has that kind of moral compass?
And the kind of the gentleness.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
sweet.
everything,
sweetness of it.
everything is so harsh and strident
Yeah.
these days.
I mean, just about everybody from that show has passed away, with the exception of Opie. You know, he's busy making movies all over the
Right.
place. But I think just about everybody else
That's
is
so
gone.
long ago that
Yeah.
Opie's daughter is a big movie
She's
star now.
great.
Yeah.
Bryce Dallas. Right?
And I just saw him the other day on some interview about his directing some current movie, and it's weird how you know, we're about the same age, and he looks so old.
Not you though.
Yeah.
Was it Hillbilly Elegy that he directed?
Yes.
Yes,
Just
and I have to
last week.
say, I missed it in the theater, and it's shown up on Netflix.
Have you
It's
watched it?
immediate, not yet. It's immediately there, and I feel for Craig because these are the streaming things that are cutting into the theater stuff.
Right.
But there it is, so you can see it.
And did you see that?
Oh, I saw
saw
it at the theater.
Yeah. And how many
Fabulous.
thumbs up did you give it?
Oh, it's 5
Well, I'm
stoplights.
gonna definitely see it on
Yeah,
Netflix.
no,
Yeah.
it is a tremendously good movie.
Huh.
So let's take a complete.
Not for something completely different.
And not for something
No, for
completely
something
different.
completely different.
The
Okay.
Rock.
So I'm excited because tomorrow I am going to my dentist, who is in Sholo, and I am.
I just saw that this week.
What is this now?
The dentist,
Oh,
W.C. Fields,
oh yes.
the very early W.C. Fields.
Well, I would like to talk about dentist movies. I'm going to the dentist. I'm getting a major procedure done. I'm getting my implants.
Marathon Man.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Oh God. Marathon Man with Dustin Hoffman and Laurence Olivier, who is like the evil personified dentist. Yeah. And then the one with Bruce Willis and Matthew from Friends and Rosanna Arquette.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy the Tulip. He plays it. Bruce.
10?
What?
They're up in Canada. He's a Canadian
Yes, yes, and
dentist.
he's a dentist. Oh my gosh, it's one of the funniest movies. And Amanda Peet,
Yep.
she is just brilliant, brilliant. But so we can be thinking about dentist movies for next week.
I'm trying to think
Why
of
not?
one.
Right? Oh, there's a lot of
I mean, it's not like pulling teeth, right?
Yeah. There's a Susan Sarandon one.
Oh, wow.
I'll have to look it up, but it's coming back to me.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's funny. I did watch W.C. Fields.
Yes.
In,
The Dentist.
The Dentist. It's
Oh.
like a half an hour. or
It's
something.
hysterical.
It's like a one-reeler, I think.
Yeah.
Right, and from the early 30s.
Yeah.
And it's just some classic W.C. Fields.
You've got to
stuff.
go on YouTube and see it. It's really good.
Go away, boy, you bother me. All right, so and just real quick here before we wrap things up, you brought up an interesting thing. Back in the day, oftentimes you'd go to the theater and it'd be a double feature, and maybe in between the two there'd be a few cartoons that would be played and stuff like that.
Short
And the
subjects.
Yeah. newsreels.
Yeah, the newsreels.
And Pathé,
Yeah.
the newsreels.
I mean, do you think that there's room for that these days? I mean, I'm kind of thinking that, if you give me a break in the middle so I can go back out to the concession stand, maybe stop by the restroom real quick and make an afternoon of it at the theater. I don't know. People used to. Why don't they anymore?
I don't know.
TV.
Yeah. Too many distractions, TV and social media.
Oh, cell phones.
Cell phones,
So-
social media,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting.
But
though,
yeah, I remember when I lived in Vallejo and I was in 3rd grade, we would walk, I don't know, a mile or so, I guess, to downtown to the theater there how old are you when you're in 3rd grade? 9, something like that. 9 or 10.
16.
Yeah. Exactly, we'd see a couple of movies, and
Yeah.
we'd see, what do they call those things, like with Flash Gordon, and,
Oh, yeah, I can't remember,
but there's some
Well,
term
you know,
for
some of
those.
that dates back too, before television and stuff like that, with the newsreels and stuff, that was about the only way to get some of that stuff
Mhm.
back, you know, during the Second World War and that kind of thing, I guess. But-
Well, and when I was, again in Singapore in the 50s, we're a throwback. And so we'd go to the theater, and always they would have the pathé, I think that's how you pronounce it, the newsreels in black and white, news of the world, Princess Margaret has landed in, in Kwajalein.
Well, see, that's what, the Sawmill Theater should do that.
Yeah.
Nothing else, have maybe a break in the middle of the movie, and then just a short little newsreel of the hometown movie guys talking about what's coming up
Yeah.
next.
Oh, no, that's a great
See,
idea.
I think that's
It'd
wonderful.
be easy to do.
I endorse that.
Barely an inconvenience.
That's right. And it would give you a chance to go to the restroom and the concessions.
That's another one that's on YouTube. It's called Pitch Meetings.
Oh, yeah?
And that's a line that my husband and I are saying to each other all the time, barely an inconvenience. And if you go on YouTube and you check out Pitch Meetings, it's hysterical. The guy is really good.
Pitch meetings.
Pitch
Another one I
meetings,
gotta remember.
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're about out of time, but get out to the Sawmill Theaters, help support them. They've supported so many other businesses, and they do so much good here with the blood drives and everything else that they do.
Yes.
Return the favor and have fun doing it by just going and enjoying a good movie, and you can even, they'll even sell those huge bags of popcorn to go and that kind of thing.
And they're very careful about, roping off every other row, and so there's no real problem about, social distancing or any of that business.
Yeah, makes sense. And there's nothing like the big screen and the sound systems that they have there that.
And the darkened theater with one focus, and that's the movie. We are so
Boy,
multitasking.
aren't you a boring date?
I am. Man, I'm like, no, Andy and I will sit next to each other, but we have an arrangement. We do whisper to each other occasionally, but we're very good movie watchers.
Yeah.
We really don't talk throughout the movie. So it's very important.
I don't know. There's something about that back row in the theater that's extra dark, and going there with your honey and watching it. You enjoy the movie however you
You
like.
keep threatening to do that, but you never do.
Oh, we just stay at home
I
and watch
know.
it on the TV. Get a lot less objections for any residual noise.
There you go.
Anyway, so get on out. Again, you can double check to find out what's playing and when it's playing by going online to sawmilltheaters.com and get the lowdown there. And of course, stay tuned in with us on Friday mornings for your hometown movie guys as we try to keep you informed on what all the latest stuff is coming to the Sawmill Theater. We've got a couple other comments here from Gina. Gina says, see you all tomorrow at the Christmas Light Parade.
Cool.
Yay!
And let's see here, what else she she also says, the old I Love Lucy, I had a lot of Christmas shows. The old I Love Lucy, that goes right along with what I was saying earlier
Yeah.
about Andy Griffith. Those are still
They're great.
funny to watch.
They're great.
And it's, and obviously back then they weren't allowed to have anything even remotely resembling any kind of vulgarity or anything. I mean, gosh, even with the Dick Van Dyke Show, they had to be shown in separate twin beds. They couldn't be in
And
the
Lucy
same bed.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, my how times have changed.
So, yeah.
But you can still with all of, I don't know, I think our moral compass was a little bit more accurate back then. But those things are still so timeless that they're still entertaining to watch. To me, that's a sign of something truly masterful. And we need
And
more of
to
that.
all, Joya Noel.
Oh,
What'd
Have
she
a
say?
Merry Christmas
Isn't
and
that
watch the
sweet?
movie.
There you go.
Yeah.
Have a great one. Thanks for joining us.
Yay.